Good morning, class. I'm audible to all. Okay, so today we will discuss about the diseases of the heart. Okay, are you guys listening? My voice is clear. Can you guys hear me? Okay, so today we'll discuss about the diseases of the heart. Since we have discussed about the anatomy and the circulation of the heart, so next we will go into the diseases. So first up we have cardiac failure. Okay, cardiac failure or heart failure. So what is heart failure? Means when the heart fails to do the proper circulation to the body. That is the heart failure. In simple language, the heart is not able to provide the sufficient circulation which is needed in your body. And the blood which is needed in the body is usually circulated through the aorta. And the blood which comes out, that is called the cardiac output into your whole body. So when the heart is not able to fulfill its function, and when it fails to put the cardiac output and it is circulate and to circulate it in your body, then that is known as the cardiac or the heart failure. Means it is not able to pump sufficient blood into your body to meet the demands of your body. Okay, sometimes what happens is the heart, it works normally at rest, because we do not need much of oxygen, and hence the circulation is also poor when you are at rest. So the heart is able to meet that demand when you are at rest. But when a person is exercising or during activity, the person needs more of oxygen and hence more of circulation. So in such cases, the heart is not able to deliver the proper amount of blood into your body, and the heart, or you can say the heart, fails to deliver the amount of blood needed in your body. So that is known as the heart failure or the cardiac failure. And sometimes what happens is only one side of your heart is affected. I mean to say, sometimes the left side is not able to pump properly, and sometimes the right side of the heart is not able to pump properly. But eventually what happens is that if the right side is not working properly, the load is more on the left side. And if the left side is not working properly, the load is more on the right side. Which means if any side is not working properly, the other side has to work more. So ultimately, the other side also fails eventually in the long run or in the long process, because it cannot compensate for the failure of the other side. So this is known as the heart failure or the cardiac failure. Clear? Okay. So I hope it's clear. So next, when the heart fails, there are certain compensatory mechanism. Okay. So by the word compensation, what do you understand by the word compensation? Does anybody know what does compensation means? Okay, see, compensation means making up for the damages that was done. For example, in the school, okay, if you do certain damages, for example, if you break a bench in your school, then what happens? You have to pay a certain amount of fine so that it could be repaired. Okay, or and if you break anything in your lab or something, then you need to pay a certain amount of money. that is known as compensation. Means you have done the damage and then you are paying for it so that it could be repaired. So in the same way, when there is a damage to the heart, I mean when there is a cardiac failure or a heart failure, there needs to be certain compensatory mechanism. So if this compensatory mechanism takes place, for at least certain period of time, the circulation won't be interrupted. Okay, if the heart fails, this compensatory mechanism takes place so that uninterruptedly the cardiac output is good and also the body receives the proper amount of blood. So what are these compensatory mechanisms? There are several compensatory mechanisms, but I'll tell you about two main compensatory mechanisms. These are, number one is the cardiac muscle mass increases, which is known as hypertrophy, and the next is the heart chambers, they enlarge. So these are certain compensatory mechanism which takes place during heart failure, which means either your cardiac muscle they get enlarged or they get hypertrophied, or cardiac muscles means myocardium. Okay, the myocardium that gets enlarged, and then or the chambers of the heart, there are four chambers of the heart, so these chambers of the heart also enlarged. As I said that one side, when one side fails, the other side works more. So when the other side is working more, the chambers of that side also has to enlarge, or the muscles they get enlarged. Okay, either the chambers or the muscles, or sometimes both. So these are the compensatory mechanisms, which means even if the heart fails, at least for certain period of time it needs to work. See, if someone has heart failure or cardiac failure, the death is not instant always. It takes certain period of time for the person to die. The person doesn't die instantly. Why? Because of these compensatory mechanism. Means the other structures are working so that the cardiac output is maintained, or the person receives the amount of blood that is needed even at rest or be it at exercise. Clear compensatory mechanism, or you want me to repeat? Clear, or you want me to repeat this compensatory mechanism? Sorry, but I can't hear you. I hope you don't mind, and can you put it in the chat box if it's clear, or you I need to repeat that? Clear. Okay. So you understood, right? What is compensation? So compensation is making up for the damages that you have done. So whatever damage was there in the heart, to make up for it, or as an alternative, the other structures of the heart they come into play so that the flow is maintained or the cardiac output is maintained. Now we have acute heart failure and chronic heart failure. So if I say acute, what do you understand by acute and what do you understand by chronic? Can you tell me what if you know these terms, acute and chronic? Okay, see, acute means in the early stage of the disease, and chronic, it means in the later stage of the disease. Chronic is long lasting, and acute is usually during the short period or in the beginning of the disease. Okay, and chronic is in the later stages. Acute is in the early stage, chronic is in the later stage. So heart failure, it has been divided into two: acute heart failure and chronic heart failure. Okay, so what happens in acute heart failure? The heart failure that occurs abruptly. Okay, abruptly means suddenly. So suddenly the cardiac output is reduced, and suddenly the amount of blood that is required in your body or in your body tissues, that becomes lessened, and this happens all of a sudden. Okay, and as I said, there were certain compensation means to make up for the damages. Here there is no time for it, there is no time for compensation. So what happens is that death might also occur, because usually your brain also needs blood for functioning. And in case of acute heart failure, what happens, the supply of oxygen that reduces greatly if in a very sudden way. So when it happens suddenly, there is no time for compensation, so that you make up for the damages. There is no time for the heart chambers to get enlarged, or there is no time for the heart muscles to get hypertrophied. So what happens is that the cardiac output, it reduces, and when it reduces, the tissues do not receive the amount of oxygen needed. And also, if I say tissue, it also means the tissues in your brain. So the tissues in your brain, which are very vital for functioning or for your body functioning, they also stop receiving the amount of oxygen or the amount of blood needed, and hence as a result death might occur, because there is no time for compensation. But sometimes what happens is that even if there is the acute phase, the person might survive, but sometimes death, and that is very common in case of the acute heart failure. Sometimes that might occur, and sometimes the person might survive, but the amount of death in acute heart failure is more. Okay, there are certain common causes of acute heart failure. So first is myocardial infarction. I'll tell you what is myocardial infarction later on. Okay, next one is pulmonary embolism. Pulmonary embolism means a dislodged thrombus. What does a thrombus means? Thrombus means a blood clot. So when there is a blood clot in your body, when that blood clot, it dislodges and it goes into your pulmonary circulation. So what happens is that the blood circulation is obstructed to your lungs. So when there is obstruction in circulation, and that obstruction is the blood clot, so even in that cases the heart fails. Sometimes in case of cardiac arrhythmia that I'll discuss later on, but for now you need to understand arrhythmia means the rhythm of the heart is not maintained, which means the heart is not beating in a proper way. That last class I told you about this SA node, AV node, that how the impulses travel. So sometimes what happens is that this conduction is not proper for the heart to keep beating. So in such cases also the acute heart failure occurs. Sometimes what happens is that because of certain load or more load, the chambers of the heart, they rupture. If you feel more air in a balloon, what happens is that ultimately that balloon, it ruptures, or that balloon blasts. Okay, if there is more air into it. So what happens is that if there is more pressure on the heart chambers, so sometimes these heart chambers, they also rupture, or the valves of the heart, they also rupture. And sometimes what happens is that in case of hypertension, which means increased blood pressure, in those cases also there is resistance to blood flow, and the heart is not able to maintain the circulation to the body. So is it clear, acute heart failure, or you want me to repeat? You can drop in the chat box if you want me to repeat, or is it clear? Clear. Okay. So next we have chronic heart failure. So what is chronic heart failure? Chronic heart failure, this develops over time. Okay. When it develops over time, it also means there is time for compensation. So the heart, it is failing gradually. The acute one was all of a sudden the heart failed because of rupture or myocardial infarction or because of obstruction, whatever the cause might be. Because of these causes the heart failed suddenly. But in case of the chronic heart failure, the whole process, it takes some time. It takes some time for the heart to decrease its output. So what happens in the early stage, okay, of the chronic heart failure? There might be no symptoms. You might not know that there is something wrong with your heart because you will have no symptoms, because there are compensations, as I told you. Okay, if the heart was failing, your maybe the heart chambers or maybe the heart muscles, they were helping the heart to do its circulation properly or to maintain the cardiac output. So initially there was no symptom, and this takes place very gradually. For example, in case of your any kind of degenerative heart disease, for example advancing age, so with the age there are various changes in your heart. So eventually the cardiac output is also reduced in case of advancing age, but then it is maintained by the other compensatory mechanisms that I told you about. So what happens here, you will not know in the initial stage, but eventually, because of certain conditions such as anemia, lung disease, or any kind of hypertension or cardiac diseases, eventually the compensatory mechanism is also not able to make up for the damages that was done. So there were damages for the heart, and in the initial stages the damages were compensated, means the other mechanism was helping the heart to maintain the cardiac output in the initial stage. But later on, even the compensatory mechanism is also not working because the damage was more. Means, as I said, if you break a bench in your school, you have to pay a fine for it. But sometimes what happens is that maybe you have done a lot of damage, and even if you pay the fine, it cannot be repaired. So in such cases, this is the chronic heart failure. Means you were doing the damage gradually and gradually, and at first you didn't know because there was no symptoms. Why no symptoms? Because there was compensation. Means there was other mechanisms to make up for it, but later on this compensation have also failed, and as a result the person might die. Okay, the person might die as a result of this because of chronic heart failure, and this usually occurs with your advancing age. Clear? Chronic heart failure. Clear, or you want me to repeat this? Okay, clear, no? So, as I said, in the acute heart failure, there is very less time for compensation, and in chronic heart failure, there is a huge time for compensation. But eventually, in the chronic heart failure, also the compensations are not able to make up because the damage is more or it's in a huge amount. So, this was about your heart failure or your cardiac failure. So next we will discuss about disorders of the heart valves. So you remember about the heart valves, what was their function? So there were two types of valve, atrioventricular valve, under which we had tricuspid and bicuspid valve, and the other one was the semilunar valves, within which we had the pulmonary valve, and the other one was the aortic valve. So as I said, these valves, they work as the doors. So when these valves are open, the blood can flow through it, and when these valves are closed, the blood cannot flow through it. So the flow of the blood stops when these valves close. So they open and close from time to time. So when there are disorders of the heart valves, what happens is that there might be two cases. Okay, there might be two cases. Now I'll tell you, I'll give you another example so you will understand it better. So suppose you will have to uh, take an individual and lock that individual in a room. Okay, a certain individual has to enter a room, and then you have to lock the room. So now what happens is that you can consider the doors of the room as the valves, and that individual you can consider as blood. Okay, so now what happens is that if you take the individual into the room and you don't lock it properly, okay, if you keep the door open, so what happens is that that individual comes out. Okay, the individual comes back. So that might be one case. And the other case is that if you do not open the door properly, so if the gap is narrow, and that individual will not be able to enter the room. So what was the function of the door? The function of the door was to allow the individual to enter the room and to lock that individual in that room. But what happens is, if you do not open the door properly, or the gap is not sufficient, okay, then what will happen? The individual will not be able to enter the room. And then if you do not lock it properly, then the individual can come out of the room. So same in case of the heart. Sometimes what happens, there is narrowing of the valve. So these valves, they do not open properly. That is known as stenosis. Okay, stenosis, stenosis. You can note that down. I'll repeat the spelling: stenosis, stenosis. So what happens in stenosis? In stenosis, there is narrowing of the valve opening. Okay, when there is narrowing of the valve opening, which means the gap is not sufficient, or the gap is not large enough for blood to pass properly. So there is obstruction in the blood flow. Okay, there is obstruction in the blood flow, so the amount of blood that is needed to pass from one chamber to the other, it is very less because of this stenosis, or because of the narrowing of the opening of the valves. So what happens is that the amount of blood that is required, that doesn't flow from one chamber to the other. The other is incompetence. Incompetence, it means sometimes known as regurgitation. I told you in the previous classes what is regurgitation. So regurgitation, regurgitation. I told you before, regurgitation means backflow. So this incompetence is also known as regurgitation, which means backflow. So as I said, if you do not lock the room properly, the individual will come back out. So similarly, it happens here. So if the valves that do not close properly because of incompetence, then the blood, it might flow back. Okay, it might flow back into the former chamber or into the previous chamber. So these disorders of the heart valves, they are of two types: stenosis and incompetence. Stenosis is narrowing, which means the proper amount, because of the narrowing of the opening, the proper amount of blood that is required cannot flow. And then there is incompetence, which means if these valves, they do not close properly, then the blood will flow back. So that is regurgitation or incompetence. Clear? Okay. So usually what happens, in stenosis, as I said, the opening is narrow. So opening is narrow. Sometimes what happens is that these valves, they get inflamed. Okay, these valves, they get inflamed, and due to the inflammation also, since the doors on both the side, they are inflamed, so the gap between them will be reduced. Because of this thing also there is stenosis. And sometimes what happens is that when they are inflamed, after that they are replaced by the fibrous tissues. So when they are replaced by fibrous tissues, they also shrink with age. So this also increases the stenosis. I mean, if you consider the door and it has if there are two doors, no, usually we have, sometimes we have these two sides of the door, and if these two sides of the door, if you think that they got inflamed, so what will happen, the gap between them will reduce. So same in case of the heart valves. Okay, sometimes they get inflamed and sometimes they are replaced by fibrous tissues, and because of these things, ultimately the gap between them, it shrinks. Okay, that is stenosis. And another one was incompetence. So next we will go into ischemic heart disease. So ischemic, what do you mean by ischemia? Ischemia means there are certain kind of obstructions. Here it is referred in case of the blood. Okay, so any kind of obstruction in the blood flow, that was ischemia. So usually what happens is that the coronary arteries, do you all remember the coronary arteries? What was the function of coronary arteries? Do you remember what was the function of coronary arteries? Anyone can say or drop it in the chat box. Okay, coronary arteries were the arteries that used to supply blood to your heart. Okay, although the heart is filled with blood, but even then your heart needs certain amount of blood as well. So these coronary arteries, they supply the blood to the heart. So these are the coronary arteries. So sometimes what happens is that there are certain kind of plaques, or you can say certain kind of clots. Sometimes these might be fatty deposits, sometimes this might be blood clots. Okay, if you take too much of fat intake and then there is too much of fat in your body, what might happen is that they might also occlude the arteries of your body. So that is the ischemia means obstruction. You need to know that ischemia means obstruction. So why this obstruction occurs? Because of, if you think of arteries as a certain kind of pipe or a certain kind of tube, and then if you think that it is obstructed, so why will the pipe or the tube be obstructed? Because there is something inside it. So that thing might be these fatty deposits, that thing might be blood clot, and there are several other reasons, okay, why these are obstructed. So when these coronary arteries are obstructed, so the heart is not able to receive the amount of blood that it needs, okay, that the heart needs itself. So the heart is not able to receive that amount of blood, and then these occlusions or these obstruction, they might be sometimes because of plaques means, as I said, this that might be your fats, and the other is sometimes with thrombosis, which means blood clot. So they might be occluded by several things. So you just need to know when that tube that is supplying a certain, suppose a water tank, if you consider heart as a water tank, and there was a tube which was filling that water tank, and that there are certain plaques or something that got stuck in the tube which was filling the water tank, so the water tank will not be filled properly. Similarly, in case of the heart also, the coronary arteries which was supplying the heart, these coronary arteries, they get blocked or they get obstructed, and as a result the heart is not able to receive the amount of blood that is needed. Clear? Is it clear, ischemic heart disease? Or you want me to repeat? Say, if you want me to repeat, then I'll repeat. I just want to know it is clear or not. Clear. Okay. So now, okay, it's clear. Good then. See, now what happens? Sometimes this obstruction may be small, sometimes the obstruction might be big. If you take the example of that tube or that pipe, if you think that there is a certain kind of obstruction or something that was obstructing it, so sometimes that obstruction might be big or sometimes that might be small. So depending on that, how big is the obstruction, and also depending on how big the pipe is, which means depending on the occlusion here and depending on how much area of your coronary artery is affected. So this disease, it varies from person to person. Sometimes what happens is that you are only given medications, with the medications only this obstruction can be removed, okay. And sometimes what happens is that you need surgery or a bypass surgery. I hope you have heard about the word bypass surgery, so we will not discuss it details, but the thing is you need to know that there are bypass surgeries as well. So what we do in bypass surgery, if the coronary arteries are obstructed or they are blocked, then we find bypass or an alternative route, which means we create another route so that blood can flow through it, okay. When we talk about these bypass roads, so they don't go through the middle of your town or the city. The bypass roads are usually in the highways. So similarly, if you create a bypass surgery, or in case of the bypass surgery, if these coronary arteries are blocked, which you can consider as the main city or the town, so the roads here are blocked, so you create another road, okay, you create another road maybe through the highway or something, so that you can move. So here also in the bypass surgery we create another route so that the blood, it can flow through that route. Sometimes what happens is that you can remove the obstruction, and sometimes through medications, but sometimes you cannot remove it and you need the surgery, okay. Means even after removing you need to do a surgery, because the coronary arteries, they are not competent enough so that the blood can flow through it. So we create another pathway so that the blood can flow through it. That is the bypass surgery that we usually do in case of ischemic heart disease. Clear? You don't need to know in details, you just need to know that in bypass surgeries we create an alternative route so that the blood can flow through that pathway, means through the alternative pathway. Clear? Okay. So next we will discuss about angina pectoris. Angina pectoris, you can note that down. You can note the spelling ANGINA. Angina. Next is pectoris. PECTORIS. ANGINA. Angina pectoris. PECTORIS. Angina pectoris. So if I say in layman terms, angina pectoris means chest pain. Okay, if you need to know in simple words, then angina pectoris simply means chest pain. Now, why this chest pain occurs? That might be because of several reasons. As I said, during physical activity, your tissues need more oxygen. When your tissues need more oxygen means you need more of blood flow. So the cardiac output needs to increase. So when there is more pressure on the heart to increase its cardiac output, so in such cases, your chest might pain. So that is known as angina pectoris. And usually this pain, it might radiate means it also goes into your arms, into your neck, and into your jaw area. So sometimes it's not only limited to the chest, it goes into your arm, your neck, or your jaw area. Usually this happens on the left side, as the heart is tilted to the left. So sometimes what happens is that along with chest pain, you will have left side shoulder pain, left side neck pain. So these pain are also related to your heart. Okay, whenever your left side pains along with your chest, so this might be related to your heart. So this is known as your angina pectoris. So what happens is that whenever these coronary arteries, they are narrowed, or there is stenosis means narrowing. Okay, so whenever there is narrowing, so what happens is that the heart itself does not get much of the blood needed. So when the heart is not receiving blood properly, so what might happen is that since see, if I am not getting much of food, so how will I perform my activities? Similarly, in case of the heart, if it is not receiving much of the blood supply through the coronary arteries, so it is not able to do the function properly, which means the cardiac output is also lessened. Means the heart is also receiving less amount of blood, because of which it is not able to pump the proper amount of blood needed. So as I said, in case of rest, it's okay because you do not need much of blood. So what might happen is that sometimes people usually they say that when I do exercises or when I run, in such cases my chest pains. So that is also angina pectoris, when your heart is not able to meet the blood's amount of blood required in your body. Means your heart is not able to meet the demands, okay, the demands of the other tissues. So in such cases also angina pectoris it occurs, which means sometimes at rest or when the person is sleeping, the person will say I don't feel pain at rest, but whenever I exercise or something like that, so in those cases I feel pain in my chest. So that is angina pectoris only. Okay, means at rest the heart is able to meet the demands of the tissue, but when the person is exercising or the person